The Kalis Imperium had reigned for millennia, their domain spanning thousands of star systems and billions of subjects. Their ships, shaped like obsidian wings, glided across the void without sound, without light beyond the cold gleam of distant suns. Silence was their doctrine, their pride, their weapon. They believed noise was primitive, a relic of lesser beings. Every planet under their rule was kept under strict acoustic control. No songs, no laughter, no spoken words above a whisper. Even births and funerals were conducted in solemn, breathless reverence. On the outer edge of the Imperium, however, a stray transmission escaped. It was a human ship, lost beyond the map jump lanes, its beacon singing into the dark. That alone would have been enough to draw the attention of the Kalis, but it was not merely a distress signal. It was a song, a simple tune, bright and stumbling, a human voice carrying a melody about stars and home, drifting through the black like a spark in endless winter. The Kalis High Circle convened immediately. They reviewed the transmission with cold precision, each counselor draped in shimmering black veils. This human noise, they deemed, was a contagion. It would unravel their control, spread dangerous emotion among their subjugated worlds. The order was clear: intercept, silence, erase. A fleet of silent dreadnoughts converged on the human vessel. A single craft, small and battered, carried only one living being, a young human named Milo, an engineer turned wanderer, who never intended to start a rebellion or a revolution. He had only sung because he was lonely, terrified, and he missed the feeling of a voice echoing back to him. When the Kalis soldiers boarded his ship, they moved like shadows, their footsteps making no sound on the steel deck. They found him still humming softly, tinkering with a broken panel. He looked up, surprised, then he smiled. "Hey there," he said, his voice echoing in the unnatural hush. "Wow, you guys are tall. Need help fixing something?" The lead commander, towering and draped in black, moved to strike him silent, but Milo simply kept talking, asking questions, cracking jokes. Even as the Kalis surrounded him with weaponized silence, his words poured forth. The soldiers hesitated. They had trained their entire lives to despise noise, but they had never heard a voice like his. It wasn't just sound. It was warmth, sincerity, life. When they brought him before the High Circle, Milo marveled at the massive crystalline hall, each arch humming with subsonic energy. He tilted his head and grinned. "So this is where you guys rule from? Need some music, if I'm honest." "Pretty, though." The elders shifted uncomfortably. One by one, they tried to pronounce his judgment, to mute him permanently. But when they opened their mouths, they found the words stuck, trembling. Milo glanced around and began to hum again. Then he started to sing, softly at first, a simple tune from Earth about blue skies and rain-washed mornings. His voice, untrained and earnest, filled the chamber. The Kalis reeled back as if struck. Some clutched their chests. Others fell to their knees, overwhelmed. They had spent eons cultivating a galaxy of absolute quiet, and here was a single human shattering it all with one song. The sound seeped beyond the walls, carried by covert waves and sympathetic resonance. Across the Empire, oppressed species looked up from their silent fields and workshops as a strange, impossible warmth fluttered through them. On the moon farms of Ivath, workers paused to listen, tears streaming silently down their faces. In the hollow libraries of Reshtur, students dared to whisper the tune to each other, shaky and hoarse. On the steel world of Etrin, children ran into the streets, hands to their chests, feeling something awaken that they had never known: hope. The High Circle could do nothing to stop it. Their silence had been a fortress, but Milo's voice slipped through every crack and fracture. His song wasn't just defiance, it was an invitation. At first, small voices joined, cautious and awkward. Then more followed, from every dark corner of the Empire. Songs, chants, laughter, echoes of life that had been buried under fear and ice. Milo stood before the elders, eyes bright. "You can't stop it now," he said gently. "It's too late. You heard it too, didn't you? The universe was never meant to be quiet. It wants to breathe. It wants to sing." The Kalis leaders sank back, defeated. In their hearts, they felt the first pangs of something they had denied for centuries: grief, joy, longing. Emotions roared through them like a storm. Milo stepped forward and placed a hand over the oldest counselor's trembling fingers. "You're not alone anymore," he whispered. "You never had to be." In the days that followed, the Kalis dreadnoughts turned from enforcers to carriers of songs, transmitting melodies to every star system. Milo walked among them, teaching old Earth songs, encouraging shy voices to rise. Planets that had never dared to dream began crafting instruments from crystal and metal, writing ballads about starlight and rebirth. They learned to speak again, to laugh, to grieve. And in that shared chorus, they found something they had lost so long ago they'd almost forgotten it existed: hope. The galaxy did not fall into chaos as the elders had feared. Instead, it bloomed. Trade flourished, alliances formed, and quiet temples transformed into amphitheaters of joyous noise. Milo's voice became a legend, echoing in every corner of space. Ships painted his likeness on their hulls. Young pilots hummed his tunes as they drifted into the unknown. They had ruled in silence for millennia. But when a single human sang, he ignited stars not just in the sky, but in every living heart. And so, against every ancient law, the galaxy learned to dance to the rhythm of laughter, to the music of stories, and above all, to the unstoppable, luminous echo of human hope.